What's going on, guys? This is Blee from Nerf Gun Attachments. Here today we're going to be doing our first blaster review in quite some time. That's not necessarily my fault, there just haven't been any new releases. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this box that just arrived on my doorstep literally minutes ago. Now, it doesn't look like your typical Nerf blaster box, and that's because, for some strange reason, Amazon.com only has their frustration-free packaging. So, this review is going to miss out on the retail packaging part of the unboxing, but it's not really that important. So, I actually prefer frustration-free packaging. It's so much easier to unbox. So, I'm not going to really use it.
Nerf gun attachments.
So in the box you'll find the main blaster itself, the required bolt, a new type of magazine, a 10 round straight mag, stock attachment, barrel attachment, some white Modulus elite darts, some mega darts, a big demolisher missile, and the instructions. Not only is this the first review I'll be doing in quite some time, it's the first time I'm this excited for a new blaster release. Now, the body of this, although it's smaller, and the way it functions via the bolt is very similar to the old in-strike, long strike, the best, aesthetically best sniper rifle we've had from a Nerf blaster yet, in my opinion. So, people have been asking, dying for some kind of elite repaint or complete overhaul, an elite version of the long strike. And while this isn't exactly it, the closest that we'll get. Let me just assemble this. Just slide this through just like the long shot or any other bolt action blaster. Slide it in, click it together, and you're done. This is, at first look, just like any other bolt action blaster like the long strike or the long shot, but this blaster has a trick. It is single fire or slam fire. This is the first Nerf bolt action slam fire capable blaster ever. Let's get this assembled. Alright, my first thoughts on it, fully assembled, mostly good. It's definitely front heavy. This front barrel attachment is noticeably heavy. It has a heft to it that struggles to tip the blaster forward. Okay, the stock attachment is pretty cool. This looks like some kind of high-powered scope, and the stock itself is a reasonably good length. We'll get more into that later. For now, I'll just go over the basic features and functions of this blaster. Starting with the main blaster body here, it is pretty nice, pretty compact. It's like another clip-loaded or magazine-fed pistol like the Nerf Retaliator. But it's a lot more slim than that, and it has the bolt instead of the top priming slide, which was uncomfortable. Also comes with a new 10 round magazine, which some people are upset about, but I don't mind. Up front here, you'll have your typical in-strike barrel attachment point right here. You have a pretty nice set of iron sights here, raised pretty high above the blaster. Top tactical rail is the only tactical rail on the main body blaster itself. It's funny considering this is the Modulus line and they seem intent on saving all tactical functionality for the Modulus line now. new elite blasters don't have as many tactical features anymore, or so it would seem. So that's weird. Right here's your bolt. This is how you prime the blaster. It sticks out on both sides, so a lefty or a righty can use it equally as well. Down here is the handle, which is a great size. Feels pretty comfortable. Back here, stock attachment point. Here's a mag release, also ambidextrous on the bottom of the blaster. Make sure you pull your priming slide or your bolt back before you try to remove the magazine. And as everyone said, this is very far from where your hand is, where the handle is. So it can be hard to reach single-handedly. I can just barely do it, but you're probably going to want to use two hands for this. You're going to want to use your left hand to hit this back, or your opposite hand that you fire with to push this back and eject the slide that way. It's not really a big deal. It feels pretty comfortable to do it this way, so I don't have any complaints about that. Up here is your jam access door to clear any jams you may have with this blaster. And that's about all the features for the main body. So moving on to the barrel attachment. It looks like any kind of standard barrel. It's a little shorter than a retaliator barrel. Not quite half as small, but it's definitely shorter. But the fun part about this barrel is it has 4 other barrels beneath it, and they don't fire elite darts. They fire these big mega darts. Has a pump action, direct air, hamp style launcher, just like the Demolisher missile launcher. So it has a smart AR, fires 1 mega at a time every time you pump this little handle here. That's pretty cool, and this is the first time we've seen what's basically a master key attachment. Back here is your stock attachment, but it's connected via a tube to this scope looking thing, which is actually a Demolisher type missile launcher. When I first saw images of this, I thought there would be an air tank and we could just pump it up and wait, and there would be some kind of trigger or button to push to launch the missile. Unfortunately, it's just like this barrel attachment, just like the Demolisher. As soon as you push it, it's a direct air blast that sends the missile flying out the front. Not as cool as I originally hoped, but not bad. Pretty original here with this design built into the stock of the blaster. And if you notice, the back of the actual launcher has a stock attachment point, which means you can run this separately as a dedicated missile launcher. That I thought was very cool. It has a tactical rail up top and everything, and a place to attach it to a tactical rail at the bottom. So very intuitive, very tactical, and I love it. Let's put it back together again and get right into a firing testing. Alright, let's get right into it. I've already loaded it up and pushed the bolt back forwards, which means I'm ready to fire. So I'll do 5 single fire shots and then 5 in slam fire. Now for the mega darts. Missile launcher. Not bad. And now for my final thoughts and opinions on the Nerf Modulus Tri-Strike. First, aesthetically, the main body looks like a mini long strike. There's no denying that. All we need is the long strike type stock and a long barrel. A long sniperish barrel, and you have your elite long strike. Paint job is pretty well done. They didn't cut as many corners with making it plain on this side and detail on this side. It has a good amount of detail on both sides. I definitely like that. I'm confused as to why they went with this weird teal color or this darker green when they had the light yellowish green on every other Modulus blaster. That's kind of strange, but it doesn't bother me. I think it looks just fine, but it's another thing that's not going to match outright with everything else. So that's kind of off-putting a little, but not enough to keep me away from this blaster, because overall it looks pretty phenomenal. This looks like some kind of futuristic large scope. The stock actually looks pretty cool, and it's also a good size. I'd prefer it to be just a bit longer, but not too bad. When I shoulder it, it's mostly comfortable. Everyone's been complaining about the this other little angle right here, this other handle looking thing on the missile launcher stock, but while it does cut into my hand a little bit, it's not super uncomfortable. Probably after a long time holding it, it'll start to get annoying. But when I try it out right now, it's not the most annoying thing I've ever felt. They definitely could have did that better though. Up to the front, this Smart AR, you know, sometimes it can be a little finicky. It can shoot two darts at the same time sometimes, but that's what you deal with any Smart AR. So as far as this barrel attachment goes, I love the idea behind it. I love that they're trying something so wild and crazy. But then again, you know, Nerf, just like any other large company, borrows and takes ideas from their community of fans, their consumers, the modding community in particular with Nerf. If you think they're not watching you, they are, and they're going to take your ideas, streamline it, make it better, arguably, and integrate it into their next blaster. So big shout out to all the modders out there, because they're making this kind of stuff possible. Definitely. As far as the 10-round mag, this is not the first 10-round mag. One of those Nerf Rebels had a 10-round mag, so people are getting mad because they think Nerf is too cheap to include a 12-round mag, and it does seem that way, but it doesn't bother me that much. 10 rounds is still a decent amount. 12 obviously would have been better, but it's not that big of a deal. At least it's not a 6. So before you guys start complaining about that, just realize it could have been a 6-round mag, or 2 6-round mags like the Alpha Trooper. 2 mags thrown into the garbage. It could have been that. So just be thankful that it's not a 6-round. As far as the scope missile launcher type thing here, I was really disappointed when I found out there wasn't an actual air tank or bladder that can hold that pressure and then release it with a button press. That would have been phenomenal. But, you know, it's pretty cool. It's like a Thunder Blast that can be attached, broken down and attached to another blaster. And that's something we've been asking for. We wanted the Demolisher launcher to be detachable so we could put it on other blasters or just take it off the Demolisher without cutting it. And it seems like they kind of listen. But just next time, let's get some air pressure built up in here. Let's get some triggers. For this too, it would have been nice if we could prime it somehow and then have another trigger up here, like a true shotgun master key, and shoot 1 or 2 megas at the same time. That would have been nice. So let's just fire this off one more time as fast as we can do it. I'll be doing slam fire the whole time, then I'll run through these, then I'll end it with the missile. Let's see how it goes. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.